So I was born into a family chosen by the devil. But as a God, I felt bad that they were chosen by the devil. I really wish they could try to have a chance to live and maybe even be the next Mary and Joseph instead of being chosen by the devil because they were so criminally sickening. So I took them in secret as a God to go work with gods. So that family I was born into, I took them to work with gods and I to see if they would rise above crime and antichrist choices and make better decisions. Sadly, not really. So I don't know how their story ends overall, but at least you know you tried. You don't want the devil to choose the devil's version of Mary and Joseph, because then it's like they have no choice but to die and be criminal. Like, they have no choices. The devil sat on top of Robert and cultivated Robert to be what he wanted. So Robert was like a hand-built devil creation, which is what Robert wanted. But if you're a God, you still feel bad. And you still try to see if maybe Robert could have been the next Jesus and made a better decision against the devil or against Antichrist or bad things. Sadly, he really didn't. So his ending, you just don't know. But there was somebody in this family chosen by the devil. His name was Uncle Mike. So his name was Mike Mesa. He always said, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Because he knew that Jesus was going to get killed this end of the world and weep more horrifyingly than after he was crucified and killed the first time. So it was a very sickening, mean, evil thing he was laughing about before poor Jesus got killed. And it was a really sad, tragic thing. But Jesus got killed and decided to actually make pretty bad decisions. So once again, if you want to understand the end of the world, it's probably better to think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, and just really kind of listen to the story from angels and gods, because it's sad. The battle between all things good against all things bad once and for all is a scary thing. But when Mary and Joseph are chosen by God, you know for sure they have the best good chance of a good life. You're not going to let the devil choose a family and just leave it at that. You're going to try to fight so they can have something. But like, it goes how it goes. Bad people were choosing bad things. That's why they were chosen by the devil. So the reality here is life is scary. The devil pretty much forced and controlled everything until my recent resurrection. Now, the United States is bitching and complaining, but the United States, just like Dubai, does know that they cannot produce or manufacture money anymore or any longer. They cannot get extra money from gods ever again, and they used to get extra money all year, throughout the year, all the time. The gods are spelling out that tax money would have never kept this country running. But they murdered God, so no one cares. That's the way life works. And Dubai knows every and all wealth is just gone. That was a third world country when God got here. They need to be worse than that now because all they did was commit crime against God. That was their thank you for God making them wealthy. Well, then they need to be dealt with. And it's severe. But that's how it should be. Murder of God. Probably pretty severe, scary things. You know what? Yeah, the United States knows the money's gone, man. You don't have any rights. You're not God's country anymore. You murdered God. You have the blood of the hands of the reality of the murder of God. This is far worse than Jesus' crucifixion, people. This is scary as shit. They not only murdered me over and over and over, but they tried to do a billion other things that were horrifying and unthinkable. I've been a dead God, and everyone would rather keep me poor, murder or rape me, drug or poison me, and never let me have a penny or fame or be known as a real God. It's been a really scary nightmare where all of them have to die. You can't get up and commit the most sickening, serious crimes against God and then just walk around like you have a right to live. And deep down, they didn't think that's how this was going to end. You know, the sad reality is that people that took it too far would have to die and die and die to create a brand new reality so that people could get out. So this is something I never talk to people about. The family chosen by the devil would have to ultimately win in the name of God to get people out who have done anything against God. Could they even make it? Well, they didn't do much in God's direction, and they did a lot in Antichrist, devil, demon, evil, God, enemy directions. So they did a ton of bad and a little bit of good. Could they really win it on the side of good gods ultimately? It would be a really, really scary long shot. Michael Patterson has done nothing but the most sickening, criminal, horrifying, disgusting things against my death the whole time. So, also, the family chosen by the devil would have to be saved by Michael Patterson. Michael Patterson is the father of gods and the only one that can save fuck-ups or failures. So when I'm a savior, I only save the biggest and the best of goodness. So I can save the best that are good and get them out of here at the end of the world. And provide them the life or powers or things that they want or need as they deserve. Michael Patterson was the only one who was the father of gods, came down to earth, and he had to become a savior saint level reality so that this family of the devil and these fuck-ups or people that did things against God could still maybe have a chance to get out. All of it is death. So they would all have to die and die and die to get out. You know, therefore providing a really beautiful crown and a really beautiful halo and a really great throne one day. So one day they would have the greatest place in heaven because they'd be the greatest things in the name of God. And so this is how this end of the world works. So I'm the ultimate savior. I had to win against all things, good and bad, once and for all. So I had to start from zero, win against all of existence in the name of my perfection, good realities, to win. Therefore making me the savior and God and brand new title of everybody who's perfect enough and good enough. My husband, who was the father of gods, he would have had to make it all the way through this to have his crown, his title, and be the father of the fuck-ups, or the father and savior of the lower level, not as perfect, not as good. If he didn't make it out, no one makes it. And death is the only way out. Why? Because they murdered God. Michael Patterson played a part in the destruction of my death. Death is the only way for them to get out. And they have done very many bad things and not very many good things. So when people ask, can God's country be salvaged? I wouldn't even have any idea. But I'd say the same thing. It looks like the whole thing is a really big, long shot. If Michael Patterson did not make it back to be a savior, no one has a way out. If that family chosen by the devil doesn't make it out, no one has a way out. There's no savior of the bad against God. There has never throughout history been a savior that will save what goes against God. Now, did I go all the way? Yeah, I went all the way through the whole thing so I can save a certain amount, but the best ones. So Michael Patterson would have been the father that saved, like, you know, the worst ones that God will still tolerate and give good things to. So, there you guys go. You all know these countries are dead. You all know that I'm the only one that made it to be the ultimate God by the end. And the only Savior. And as of this moment, only the best good will ever have a future with God and get help. Because I was murdered, it created no more rights to heaven or go to heaven. It created all kinds of bad rights. Because I'm a murdered, dead God on this planet, it's easier for you to find death in death than ever get to a heaven or be able to have a basic death at a cemetery. You know, you guys didn't think this would be a good ending when you're really bad people. And I know that you're not that stupid. You guys know there's no good answer for bad people. Much less the unthinkable against God. So, I mean, I'll tell you guys the truth because you're stressed out because, you know, gods can't destroy these countries enough because of what they've done. But that's where existence is, and that's what's real. And if you want to understand more, just think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen, and the gods will let you guys know.